Be not afraid, Elliot. Be not afraid, Joe.
That dog looks concerned.
Yeah, well, Steve decided to traumatize him.
What is that? Like a theremin? Is that what it's called?
Theremins are cool.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with your show.
Have you all seen that clip that goes around every now and then of Conan O'Brien when he's reading like the bidet ad read for his podcast, and he's just like, "What happened to me?"
What does he say?
He like just has a breakdown, well, like a faux breakdown, where he's just like, "What happened to me? I went to college, I got a degree," and he's like, "I'm talking about a bidets and spraying a stream up my butt."
Because he's like the 100% one of those celebrities that does not read the ad reads before the producer puts it in front of him, and he had no clue he was doing a bidet ad read.
Yep.
And it's wild because all of these big time celebrities have caught up and they're doing their podcasts now, and they all do the same ad reads that we do.
They do.
They haven't
you're
caught
right.
up. That's not caught up. They have fallen to the depths.
Well, the difference is when they do the ad read, they get $20,000.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the difference.
So they're like, when I'm listening like to the Lonely Island podcast, and it's like Andy Samberg and Yorma and Seth Meyers doing the same damn weird.
Hey, do you need some meals on the go? Well, Factor is
100%.
here for you.
And a lot of them, from what I can tell, they don't put any effort into it, and they really just read verbatim. Like, it's the
Meanwhile,
worst.
Mike and I are making like full musical albums, and like we're doing like avant-garde.
For
Remember
not
when you like
$20,000.
drove me around in the back of a truck, or like back of Joe's truck?
Dude, we used to do really fun ad
Yeah.
reads, and the audience would love it, and we'd get like really good feedback from like anybody who watched the show or listened to the show, but
Not the companies.
but nobody outside of that gave a shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
For some reason, I don't think it converted to a lot of new customers.
Well, Mike and I would get a bunch of emails from people saying like,
Don't
you
bring
guys are the
Mike up.
only podcast where don't skip the ads or whatever, you know, like we don't skip the ads on your guys' shit. And it's like, well, that doesn't mean anything to
Like,
me.
we don't buy anything.
It
but
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't mean shit.
That's weird.
I used to think it was cool. I used to think, man, that's so rad. Because I can relate. As a kid, I used to hate the fucking commercials. You know, like especially the daytime TV ones, because it wasn't meant for kids. It was just like, oh, like, you know, do you have fucking period cramps, or like, is your poop too hard?
Your poop on its period?
Yeah, is your poop on its period?
I saw a period commercial last night, and it was for pads. And I don't know if they used to do this or not, but I noticed that they say they'll use the word blood now. Have you seen this?
Oh, interesting. Because
Like,
remember
before-
they would pour that blue liquid on
Right.
the fuck.
This time there was like, it's blood and it's red liquid, and I was like, whoa. It used to be, and I was like, ugh.
You know,
And I was
Fly
with
in
Grace. and I-
chunks?
this is why I voted for Trump, because I'm
It
sick of
exactly.
this shit.
Well,
I'm
it's
sick-
DEI pads.
I don't need to see blood. You know, some fucking single mom, some lesbian married couple. You
No.
know, they're like, I need to see blood in my tampon commercials, and I'm sick of it.
Some postmodern feminist basket weaving master's degree in
with
crystals,
underarm hair.
no deodorant,
Have you
coconut oil.
Have you guys realized we have been duped into watching more commercials for more money now?
Yeah, It's
We
crazy.
spend so much money on streaming, and my streaming services are showing me like 10 fucking ads every 5 minutes.
And you pay for it.
Yep.
When I
Because they're
was
seeing what they can get away with.
Yeah, and they can get away with a lot apparently.
Yeah.
And what I'll do first thing sometimes is I'll play Wordle, and I stop paying for New York Times, and so now it'll be like 5 a.m. and I'll go to play Wordle, and it's like an advertisement for something before I can play.
And then
I'm
you
like,
feel
that
like
can't be good.
Yeah, and then you feel like a poor person.
Exactly.
Which is just backwards, right? why are you feeding poor people the ads? They-
What?
Right. Yeah, give the ads to people that pay for the New York Times.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. What are we doing?
And now I gotta have fucking share with my family subscriptions with all my. I can't share my password with my family and shit. Like I'm coming back. Like we cut the cable. Remember cutting the cable? Like we got cut the cable because we got Netflix now, and we don't need Netflix or we don't need TV because we got Netflix.
Now we're gonna demean the stream, or
Now we gotta repair the cable. We gotta put the cable back. We gotta glue it.
Plug it back in.
Plug it back.
Anyway,
stop.
How you
Non-
guys doing? We've been recording since you got in here. I don't know if you know that, Joe. I mean,
That's
I think
fine.
it
That's
informs
good.
you.
I think we avoided all ill-prepared mannerisms and or things that may have fallen from mouth.
Yeah, I mean, we say all sorts of dumb shit.
Mhm.
You can never tell if it's something that was meant to be edited out or not.
I think we made it. I think we're good, boys. I think we're good.
How y'all doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. It's kind of it's been a blah.
My parents came to stay with me for a night, and then they
fun.
and they
Then
took
they walked off into the ocean
they
together.
did, hand in hand. It's what every Zaragoza does when they reach 73 years old or however old they are. God damn, they're gonna die soon.
Oh god.
But so anyway, they it's their 50th wedding anniversary. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I know. It's like who knew? Like, who knew love could really last the last
time.
You guys taste toast?
Do you get Tesla? Did Tesla taste toast?
You eat that Tesla toast? Don't like it.
So they took a 50th boat, a 50th anniversary boat
Go see
trip
dolphins. Go
to
see.
Catalina.
I've still never been. I need.
Neither
to...
have I.
Me neither.
Oh boys.
And people love it. Like, people do love it. Like olds, youngs.
Yeah.
There's an underwater UFO base on the other side of Catalina. I don't know. I appreciate you laughing. Not a joke.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
What do you mean? Like they're like UFOs, like aliens are there, or they're studying UFOs there?
Jeremy, bring up the UFO base.
Who's that? You got an assistant? What can
Grok.
I type in? Let me type in something here. What can I type in?
Yeah.
What do I type in? UFO underwater.
Boom! Immediately, it's the proof is out there. I mean, if that doesn't prove it, don't know what could.
Mhm.
Another one, underwater UFO
You're
base
right.
between
When I
Malibu
type
and
in-
Catalina.
When I type in underwater UFO base, one of the search terms that I could click on is "this is absolute bullshit," but one of the other ones says underwater UFO base Catalina.
Catalina Island, a known UAP hotspot, has a history of reports and investigations related to potential UFO activity, including both aerial and underwater sightings, with some suggesting the possibility of an undersea UFO base.
I like that they have bases.
Where are you going to put all of them?
Yeah. I mean, they got to park somewhere.
Gotta have a garage.
This image is pretty wild.
It could be anything. You can show us anything.
Right. So that's if you look good. Look
Look at that goose.
And so this here is supposed to be like the base,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could go.
Yeah,
in
when they
there.
were making the base, they were like, put the pillars in no particular symmetry.
Right, and they'll hold the whole thing up, and they'll hold it up.
It is 100% an Earth fit.
I would buy that was some Atlantis shit over a UFO place.
I got bombed on I got downvoted on Reddit because
What'd you do?
I spoke against Graham Hancock.
Who's that?
Yeah.
He's a fringe journalist who does like the pyramids are made of cotton candy and
one of them.
underneath it, yeah, and there's been
What the
multiple.
fuck?
It's like the multiple civilizations theory. Like there's been and I expressed some skepticism and people were very upset.
You expressed skepticism against cotton candy structures.
It was one of those things of look at all the proof of this whatever it is, and I was like, this is all bullshit. And
hey buddy,
and I was like something like it's sad people believe this, and then I was pretty high when I did that, and then I woke up the next day and they did not
it.
Yeah, and then I got downvoted, but then the next two people were like, yeah, no, it is bullshit. So I was like,
when do you think do you think you are in danger of being kicked out of these groups?
I drop in, I bob and weave. I'm like, you know, what's the boxer?
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I'm bobbing and weaving. I'm like a float like a butterfly sting. I drop in, say a snarky thing, head on out.
That's pretty good. And
except for alien bodies. Alien bodies, I've gotten pretty close to I didn't get banned.
But do they think that because they can't think there won't be people going in there calling bullshit on everything.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And they don't want to close out the community. I mean, I hate it when they're like, it's an invite only private community.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, well, then what? You're not asking questions. Like you're not asking any questions. You're all just believing each other willy nilly. And there's no, come on, we need to have a little conversation. Even if someone comes in and is just like, this is bullshit. You guys are bad F word. Like it's like, I get it. Like, some people are afraid. They're scared. They have insecurities.
You know that for a time, Willie Nelson performed with a small person, a little person that dressed just like him, and he called him Willy Nilly.
Is that true?
I didn't expect your hair to look like that when you took your hair off.
Oh yeah, everyone got a haircut. Look, even me. I know. Yeah.
You wait a minute. So you look like that, which is kind of similar to Joe's doing the Pluto thing.
Yeah, I got the Pluto hat on. Yeah.
Pluto Mars.
You look like the rock star from Goofy movie. Are you gonna watch the Goofy movie documentary, Joe?
There's a doc?
Powerline. That's what I meant. Powerline. Yeah, I think there's a documentary coming out about Goofy movie.
Oh, it's called Powerline.
Speaking of movies,
it looks like Powerline. Got you. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like Powerline.
What if they made a live action Goofy movie?
What if they did?
Would you guys like that?
Yeah.
Like human actors cast as all the characters?
Yeah, if they made it like Ron Howard did it and did like the Who makeup from Grinch.
Oh my god. Imagine that. That's so creepy. That's
terrifying.
Creepy. Let me see if I can find a picture of realistic looking Goofy, and then we can imagine what that movie might look like.
Probably can. AI does everything. Now we're dead.
Speaking of real life live action movies, are you guys excited for less than 2 years from now when the live action, rumor has it, first part of a trilogy, Legend of Zelda is released?
Zelda?
Yeah, that is no rumor. That has been greenlit and it's coming.
The trilogy I thought was still a rumor.
Oh, well, I guess the trilogy depends on whether the first one does well or not.
If they don't call it the Triforce-G, I'm going to be upset.
The Triforce-G. Can you imagine? People would be so pissed off.
Dude, that is like a terrifying.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, good lord, I don't like that.
It's this area here that's most unpleasant to me.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope. I love that he painted, or they painted their whole eyebrows to draw in other eyebrows.
Yeah.
There's some really gross looking ones here. Like I'd watch a CG movie like that.
Oh no.
That's a good one. I like that one. I like
There's
that
some
one.
good. There are some good ones. But see, what if it was like this? What if there's a live action movie where the dogs were real? Like,
Look at that. That's kind
A
of
goofy movie in real life. There it is.
Yeah, no, I don't need it. I'm okay.
All right.
no, this Zelda movie though, the thing that they have it wrong, in my opinion, is that it's live action.
I like that. I don't know what
Really?
I think there is great potential for it to either be so good it is like a generation's Harry Potter, or it's going to ruin Zelda for an entire generation.
It's just, I guess it's because like, the tone of the
Yeah.
games is very like, this isn't. I mean, it's fantasy and it takes itself seriously, but it's also kind of like cartoony and silly.
Yeah.
Like it's silly, and it'd be weird for them to go like too serious,
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones or something, because
or
that's
like
not the
DC
tone.
movies. Like, don't do like it's got to be kind of like James Gunny, but not.
That's the other thing. Like you don't really want needle drops in there. You don't want like welcome to the jungle. Like he goes into like some like jungle area, and it's just. And
Well,
it
now,
says-
dude, now you're just making sense, Steve. Stop it.
Have you guys seen this new Seth Rogen show?
Yeah.
No,
You
is it good?
watched- Did you watch just the first episode? It's gonna
I wa-
piss me
did-
off.
Did you see the second episode?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but
Dude,
I'm hooked. But it's
you
gonna
guys-
piss me off.
The second episode, you guys really, I want to know what you think of it.
Oh man, because it's
I'm
really
not going to
just
say anything, but if you haven't heard what they do in the second episode, purely from a technical and a cinematic
oh, I can't wait.
directing standpoint, it is.
It's fun because you can tell that they're like they're holding the mirror up to the society, the studio ecosystem, and Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, they know a thing or two about working in the industry, and so they're sharing all their disgusting secrets of what the industry is really like, and it's like it pisses me off.
I cannot wait for the Dave or the Franco episode.
Yeah. It's weird. Have you seen the like little things that they've been saying? Like they'll come out and say a few things. Like people will ask them stuff. Like you still talk to James Franco or whatever.
Oh, he
and
just
they'll-
straight up says no. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Some of them are like, it's complicated. It's complicated. And
No, he
you
cut
know.
him off like completely.
But yeah, Seth Rogen did. But then there's some of the others that are like, we don't know. He's working on himself and.
No.
Like that kind of shit. Like the kind of thing you would say if someone really close to you was when that happened, and then you're like, you're like, I gotta be their friend still. Maybe I don't cut them out because life isn't just black and white. There's that gray area, and this person's been in my life for this long, and we've made all these movies together and all this shit together, and so it's like that. There's that whole thing of like, well, yeah, in the public eye, I gotta be like, fuck this guy, but behind the scenes, you're still like, hey man, thinking about you, send text, or like it's just so it's hard to cut someone like that completely out of your life.
Back to Link. What do you think they'll do? Do you think it'll be like what if they followed like 3 of the games? Like you start with the Wind Waker kind of like seafaring saga, and then you go into Ocarina, and then you follow it up with a Majora's Mask where you're fighting the moon.
Oh, so you would go straight to Ocarina of Time as the first like cinematic idea for the movie.
No, I was saying the other one, the Wind Waker. Start with
So you'd go straight to Wind Waker. You'd start with Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, are they going to follow games? Are they going to not?
I know, that's the big question. That's what everybody's kind of talking about. Is like, because they could even just go straight for Twilight Princess or
Like, what if we went
Skyward Sword would be the first one in the
from chronologically for sure. But what if like, do you want to watch like Kid Link, or do you want to watch more like young adult Link?
I want to watch Kid Link. Thank you.
You want to watch Kid Link for 2 hours or for like a half of a movie?
I'd say opening scene.
Yeah.
Let's get some hair on those bees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe he got his parents dying in some like attack or something.
Never
and then
see
he-
his parents in the
Never
if I
see
see
his
his parents in the movie. I'll be so fucking.
Yeah, but you know they're gonna
I
do
will be
this shit.
So pissed. He can have an uncle.
Don't Batman him.
He can have
I
an
just,
uncle.
you know, I would just rather see the like, you know, because it is the. Am I wrong in thinking it's the guys that made the Super Mario Brothers movie? It's like the
No.
animation guys, but they're making
Maze-
live action.
It's the defeat of the something of the planet of apes guy
Mm.
and the Maze Runner guy.
Interesting.
So it's mocap. They're gonna use some motion capture.
Oh no.
Did you know that there is a playable character in Mortal Kombat called Mocap?
Oh, that's cool.
Which one? Which Mortal
He
Kombat?
literally, one of the shitty like, B ones where it was literally just a guy in a mocap suit. Like a horrible.
I never saw that. I don't know. That's a great bit.
Horribly meta joke. No,
I just wait. So that's not real, or you're
What's not
joking, or
real?
it is real?
no, it is real. 100%.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's no good. It's a bad. It's
Remember Ben Meckler with his Mortal Kombat podcast?
the mech, like they call him. I like
the mech.
I haven't
I
talked to
wanna
him since
do
he
a
got
whole-
canceled.
Well, it's a gray area, Elliot.
Yeah.
Charles Golden, also known as Mocap. Mocap was brought in repeatedly for his vast knowledge of fighting techniques. You're right. He's wearing like the like circles and everything.
Yeah, real stupid, real dumb.
I guess it's kind of funny. But you know, there's some like overblown, like ridiculous, unnecessary lore for this guy.
I hope they make Link not talk. I think that'd be a bold move. If they could make that work.
That would be insanity.
Honestly, that now you're heading into territory of me enjoying the possibility of a live action Zelda, because I just think the idea, like, could you just imagine like animated in the way that like Breath of the Wild it looks like, in that style, but animated that way?
Well, yeah, give me Link as a Ghibli. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting into this YouTuber named his channel's called Any Austin, and he's the one who did a video that was like, where do all of the rivers in Hyrule lead? Or he'll be like, where does the power lines in Grand Theft Auto, or what are they connected to?
Yeah.
And he like does that kind of like open world thing, but he did one on skyboxes, which I didn't know they were even called that. Like in video games, the way that you design the sky is called a skybox, and it's like a 3-dimensional cube that you place the rest of the game in. And it was a whole like 40-minute video on how beautiful Breath of the Wild's like and Tears of the Kingdom skyboxes are, and how like now I'm playing other games like, oh, look at the sky in the game.
Look at
Yeah.
this skybox.
Yeah.
And it is that those
Never would
games are
think
they're so vast and beautiful and huge, and you're just like, how is this done on the Switch? Like, the Switch doesn't have the power of all these other systems. Like, it's such a beautiful game.
So
that-
right now there's only two choices, and I'm sorry, boys, it's just true. So is it going to be Timothée or Tom Holland?
Oh man, it's gonna be, isn't it?
Not gonna be Tom Holland. I don't think it can't be, right? It can't be either one of those.
Well, it's funny because it's Sony, right? Sony's doing this.
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know.
No, I mean Nintendo.
Yeah. It says
Studios?
it's a partnership, a production partnership with Sony.
Hmm.
And it says the fantasy franchise creator Shigeru Miyamoto previously announced he'll serve as a producer alongside Marvel's founder Avi Arad.
Oh, so Miyamoto is part of it?
Yeah, he's like producing it.
What the fuck?
So that gives
Apparently.
me hope. But the Sony part, the reason why I mentioned the Sony part is because, you know, they got Tom Holland in that Uncharted movie, and that one was a fucking flop, wasn't it, boys?
I don't
Was
think Tom Holland works as Link anyway.
I think he's just, I think, you know what, man? I really think that Link should be of an Asian,
All right. Okay.
I don't think we should cast an American as Link or Zelda.
Cast an elf.
Nordic.
Yeah, I just not American. Is that crazy to I mean, it's not gonna happen.
No, they'll cast a white person.
They will cast a white person. You're right. But imagine if it was like Steven Yen or something.
But you know that like Trump already made an executive order. It has to be a white person.
He said it.
Yeah.
He's in the room. He's like, this Zelda. This Zelda needs to be an American.
That's pretty good, Steve.
Thanks, man. We've had plenty of time to work on it.
Yeah. You're one of the first people to try a Trump impression.
Let me give it a shot. But I don't know, man. Like, so yeah, it's the Maze Runner guy and
there's enough variables that are attached to the things that you've said that I have hope.
Me too.
I have hope.
Have you seen the thing, Joe, where like it's a tweet from the director from like 11 years ago, and he's like, I know I will never in a million years have the chance to direct it, so I might as well say now that The Legend of Zelda would be the absolute like dream, and it's one of like it's my dream to one day be able to direct a Zelda movie, even though I know it'll never happen. And
but now it's happening.
Yeah, and he's like, I want this to be something like that is incredible, and it's going to be like, he's like a huge fan of the franchise.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, look, they somehow made Mario work, and I didn't think it would. And I think I actually really like that movie. I think it's great.
But Mario worked because it's animated,
Sure.
you know? Like, imagine if that was live action.
I mean, are you trying to give me a boner?
With Chris Pratt.
Dude, because I'm ripping undies right now, dude. Are you kidding me?
I'm running out of MeUndies, by the way.
I'm blasted.
My MeUndies are so old.
I know. A lot of pairs have been going in the trash lately, and I've been like, "Oh, it's nice."
It's sad to see them go.
They lasted a long time, but now they're going to Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just rerouted all of our orders to Joe Rogan and Seth Meyers and Conan O'Brien and Dana Carvey and fucking
Spade,
yeah.
Dana and Spade.
But guys, I read another
isn't joyous as I wish it was.
I know they do kind of go too much into the doom.
They're kind of legends.
Dude, Spade's an asshole.
Yeah. But
yeah.
And I think it comes through on that. Like, I think Carvey's like a nice guy.
He's the nice guy. He's the guy keeping it together a little bit, keeping it nice.
An odd duo for sure. An odd little matchup.
So I'm reading something that's a little disheartening about, God's visiting a little earlier today.
Oh, God. Hello, God. It's me, Elliot.
Here's a piece of disheartening information about the Zelda movie. Oh, God, it's the devil.
Oh, no, it's the devil now.
Hello, Morgan.
Hello, Morgan.
Good Morgan. Looks like the guy who is writing the Zelda movie wrote Jurassic World.
Uh-oh.
Don't know. Oh, Chris Pratt's going to be Link.
Dude, could you imagine if Chris Pratt was Mario and Link? I mean, dude, like, they could do it. They could do it because, because I think I could be wrong about this, and I'll fact check this, but I think Miyamoto chose Chris Pratt. Yeah. And because I think they're like, this guy's a big star. We got to have a big star in our movie, which makes sense.
I contend it was a right choice. I had zero qualms with Mr. Pratt as Mario.
I mean, the only qualm I have is that it's kind of annoying that it's Chris Pratt, but I guess he did fine. It's
fine. If you wouldn't have known it was Chris Pratt going in, you would be like, oh, this is great.
He also did The Rise of Skywalker, the story behind that.
No way, really?
Yeah. This guy, and he did Kong Skull Island. What the hell are they thinking?
Okay, well,
Lego
Jurassic Skull Island, Elliot, is a great movie.
Actually, which one is that? Yeah, because I actually do really like those movies.
Kong Skull Island was like the really cool, like action, like Vietnam opening
with
one.
Sam Jackson. With Sam Jackson, is Sam Jackson in that one?
Yeah, it was
like John Goodman or something.
It's the good one. It's really, really good.
I don't remember it being really good, but
That was-
I don't. But I also have mixed them all up now, and the whole like fucking
What's good?
what's the Earth, the like upside down Earth, the hollow Earth thing is like ridiculous.
Inside the earth, these big giant things.
Those
It's
are the ones
like,
I like. Those
come
are
on,
I
this
like
is
when it's like there's a smaller big one.
but like the whole idea that inside our Earth is like a whole other world is like
So fun.
really fucking hard to.
But
You
that's not
access it through
that's not
a
Skull
base.
Island. No, Skull
Off
Island
Cat.
is a good movie.
Off Catalina Island. Leads to the center of the
But the hollow Earth theory is not new. Like, there's people who have believed that for a real long time.
Well, we're actually in the Hollow Earth. That's where we exist. Oh, guys, look at these.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Oh
Oh.
my goodness.
I saw a video of Mars, and it was like you can hear the sound on Mars, and I don't know what I was expecting, but I was pretty disappointed. It was like
It's just like wind, right? It's more
Oh.
like the sound of the microphone being
Yeah,
in the
it is,
atmosphere than anything.
You're a microphone. I rewatched. I got up early one day and I was like, well, I'm up too early. I'm going to throw on a movie and probably fall back to sleep. And I
Wow.
turned on The Martian, which reminded me that The Martian is one of my favorite fucking movies. That
It's
movie,
okay, yeah. It's like
So
Castaway
good.
on Mars.
It's so good. It's not okay. It's amazing. It's like Ridley Scott at his best. So good. Love it.
I tried rewatching the movie, and my wife, she was like, "Gonna put the phone down and watch a movie with me," which is like never ever that happens. Yeah, and I was so excited, so I threw on a Batman: The Dark Knight Rises. She was like, "I don't think I've ever seen this movie." I was like, "Well, why don't you watch it with me, and it'll be
Why don't
nice."
you
And
shut up and watch it. I'm trying to watch
Yeah.
the movie.
Shh, woman. And it was around maybe like 45 minutes in, and she just starts grabbing her cell phone, and she was like, "This is just like work for me to watch this." And I was like, I was like, "Can you just watch a movie like with your husband?" I was like, "I want to watch a movie with my wife that I've seen that you haven't seen, because that's one of the most basic joys."
It is such a joy.
like, I can't do it.
She
Wait,
gave it.
So, it fascinates me how anti-cinema
Truly.
Grace is. Like, what is her favorite movie? Like, she can actually sit down and watch.
Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but even that she wouldn't watch again. If I turn on anything and she's seen it before, she'll be like, it baffles her to no end. She's like, what do you mean? We've seen this movie. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, but it's so good, and I want to feel good right now.
Yeah. And
I
she's
wanna-
like, so this is like something you do for like comfort, and it makes me feel like I'm like messed up. Like she's like, oh, you need this?
You know, nobody else likes movies. Nobody else likes watching movies. So what's wrong with you?
I like the idea if she watches a DVD and then when it's done, she crumples it up like a piece of paper.
Really does. In her mind, she's like, I know how it ends. It doesn't matter. Like Christmas time is the worst because every Christmas movie's been seen.
We've seen it.
And she's like, why would you watch The Grinch? And I'm like, because
It feels good.
it's nice.
You can just leave it on in the background.
Yeah.
I also know it's good, so I'm not playing like gambling with having to watch crap on accident.
Right.
But I will say though, those Batman movies are like, they are a little bit of a slog.
They
like
are.
they're long and
They
they're
are
good. And unless you really give a shit about Batman, you're like in for a long ass movie.
I will, to her credit, when I hit pause and she was like, oh.
you
Like-
never hit pause because you'll see
Right.
how much
And
longer the movie is.
moment she saw how much longer there was, she was out. And
I
was
know
like,
isn't it funny? Like there are definitely some people that I know where if I'm gonna watch a movie with them, I cannot let them see how much is left.
Yeah.
It's an instant.
I wish I'd have known.
Instantly, instantly, it's like, oh, that's how much is left. Maybe we should finish this tomorrow. It's like, which is code for we're never gonna finish this.
It's the worst when it comes to streaming too, because you will watch a movie that you've never seen before. You're like, I'm gonna wait till it's on streaming, and then it's on streaming. And the beautiful thing about being in a movie theater is that you don't know when the movie's gonna end.
I
Right.
If you're
know.
watching it on stream, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, boom, and you're like, oh, 5 minutes left. Looks like they're wrapping up this mystery.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Dude,
That's a good point.
But more than ever, there's like people using their phones so casually in the movie theater, and it drives me crazy because it used to just be like every once in a while you'd see a phone light go on for a minute and then it would go away for the whole rest of the movie. But now it's like phone lights all over the fucking movie theater. It's like, it's a bummer.
I went and saw Black Bag.
What the hell's that?
I
I
know.
heard about this. I heard about
It was pretty good. We saw it at like one of those iPick theaters. You ever done that before?
Is that
Yeah,
the
the
they
comfy-
feed you foods?
Food and yeah, and you're very private from people, so you don't see phones. But it was all right. I was like, maybe movies aren't good anymore.
It was
A
all
lot
right.
of them aren't.
But that's always been the case for sure.
I guess that's true.
I saw
Dude,
Bad Monkey. Bad Monkey was fun.
What's
Weird.
Bad Monkey?
Bad Monkey? Bad Monkey. The Bad Monkey movie. The Shining.
Oh,
Stephen...
I think it's just called Monkey, right?
Oh, I thought it was Bad Monkey. Is it Monkey?
I think it's
Making
Monkey.
me feel crazy. Did we just
Dude, I felt so crazy because I was like, my mom was like, "What's that movie with
bears?"
It's called The Monkey."
The Monkey. Sorry, Bad Monkey. He is a bad monkey though.
But it is a bad monkey, yeah. I liked it. Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's really
I liked it.
but it was like I guess that's just Osgood Perkins doing his thing, but it was it was a very fun watch.
And it's delightfully like it is very Stephen King too. Like there's so much of it that's like so Stephen King coded.
Yep.
And James Franco does really well as the main character.
It's kind of a gray area, but
He that guy is the James Franco replacement. Whoever that dude is.
oh,
He
that
was in
guy,
White
he was,
Lotus.
yeah, he was in White Lotus. He always plays like a dickhole, and then in this
Yeah.
movie he's like there's like two of him, and one of them's a dickhole and the other one isn't.
Do you guys see the smole?
Oh my
Look
god.
at that small
That
boy.
little guy.
Dude, I watched an absolute stinker of a fucking movie with my parents on Friday. It's
Say
called
Schindler's List. Say Schindler's List. Say Schindler's List.
It's called Schindler. Is that how you say it? It's
Schindler's List.
They never said it in the movie, so I wasn't
Schindler.
sure how to say it. I waited for this list. I had notes.
Kingsley.
So I watched a movie called The Gorge.
Oh, I heard that was garbage.
Was
Yeah.
it? Is that the one with Anna Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, and Miles Teller.
I like when Anna Taylor-Joy rips off her face and she's just Rami Malek underneath.
Yeah.
Just because if you put them over each other on Photoshop and to turn the opacity down, their eyes would be in the same spot.
Yep.
You guys know anytime someone mentions Miles Teller, I beat him in acting.
Yeah, dude, Miles Teller.
When I was in high school, I beat Miles Teller at acting.
I gotta be honest, it's not that surprising because Miles Teller, I don't think he's that good.
And I'm incredible.
And he's one of those guys that's just like, wow, we can't get anybody else.
You have to say Elliot's good. You better do it, else he's gonna cry.
Honestly, I think he would have been great in The Gorge, Elliot.
Thank you.
I think he would have been great in it.
Thank you.
But there's this like, I just really did not enjoy it at all. I thought it was really bad. The concept was fun, and then they ruined it with the explanation of what it is.
It's just a canyon.
Well, my parents didn't know about what it was about at all, and it's about these like two like really good snipers that are
pronounced snippers. Thank you.
they're snippers, and they are hired to shoot anything that comes out of the gorge. And the gorge is unknown to any other, like no president has ever known about it. It's a super secret thing, and there's like a year-long station for each person that goes to like watch the gorge and protect the gorge. And then they're basically like killed as soon as their job is done, but they don't know that. But that's how they keep it a big secret, is they kill anybody who knows about it. And then at one point they fall in, and they're in the and not only do they fall in love as well.
The Gorge of Love.
But Miles Teller's character is like, he writes poetry. He's like a poet, and he writes a poem for her, and it's just so. It was
Sniper. You snapped my heart. The bullets go zoom.
No, snipper.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Snippy, snippy, I shot you.
George? George. No. Good Nord. Nope.
Roses are red, violets are blue. If you crawled out of the gorge, I would not shoot you.
Nice. There you go.
But it was like, he wrote her a poem and she's like, "What did you call it? What's it called?" He's like, "No, I won't tell you." And she's like, "Just tell me the name of it." And he's like, "No, I can't. And then she goes, "Please." And he goes, "She collapsed the night."
Dude, when poetry
I
does not hit, it is really great.
It's great when poetry doesn't hit. You're right, because it's like that. Poetry, because I talk about how music is hard to write, and that's why I only ever write funny music if I ever do, because poetry is one step beyond the cringe of songwriting to me. Like, not in general, because there's beautiful songs, beautiful poems, whatever. But for myself, like, I could never write a poem because I would be more cringed out at my poetry than my songwriting.
Yeah, I'd crawl out of my skin if I like, that's poetry is like, I think when you're a young person before you reach the. You guys want to hear a poem?
Yes. Minutes with a poem.
But when there's a good poem, it's like fucking incredible.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, good poem is it changes you.
This was being read in one of the later episodes of White Lotus, this book, when she's by the pool.
In which episode or which season?
The most recent one, the most recent episode, the most recent season.
Who's reading it?
One of the women that are all arguing with each other.
It wasn't Piper.
Piper. What are you gonna do in the? Well, you can't do. You can't be a monk.
Piper.
You guys want to hear a poem?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, this is exactly the kind of thing that you would. Okay, you ready?
She collapsed the night.
But Steve, you have to listen to this poem as if you wrote it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna really try to imagine that you wrote this, Steve.
And Elliot's reading your poem for
I'm reading.
Yeah, I can't read it. I'm too embarrassed.
Yeah, Steve can't read it, so I'm going to read it.
Please read it.
It's appropriately called, it's about the Valleycast. It's called We Three.
Oh.
My love wanders the rooms melodious. Flute notes, plucked wires, full of a wine that the Magi drank on the way to Bethlehem. We are three. The moon comes from its quiet corner, puts a pitcher of water down in the center, the circle of surface flames. One of us kneels to kiss the threshold. One drinks with wine flames playing over his face. One watches the gathering. The dance is the joy of existence. I am filled with you, skin, blood, bone, brain, and soul. There's no room for lack of trust or trust. Nothing in this existence but that existence. That's really good, Steve.
This sounds like some Christian inspired.
Well,
I'm pretty. Yeah. Okay, well, it's not Christian. I'm pretty sure he's Muslim, but
was it? It felt religious. It felt spiritual.
Well, where were you coming from when you wrote that?
Yeah.
Well, I was hangry.
And it just came out.
I was so hungry. I was mad. So that's where my emotions were.
Back to Miles Teller. I can tell you as the moment that I was out on him as like, I also don't think he's great because I think there's a very big lack of charisma, and that was firmly confirmed when he made an appearance during the SNL 50 episode.
He did. Why was he? Because he was a guest at one point, and they just brought everybody.
Yeah, they brought him in just flat, not funny. Didn't seem like he could handle the moment. I was like, oh, okay, because you're not a star. He's not a star.
Yeah, it feels like he's not a first choice.
I think he was a first choice there for a while, but now maybe not.
Because he was like a young, handsome guy, but then all of a sudden, all these better, more charismatic, young, handsome guys.
Well, then Glenn showed up, and Glenn's in fucking everything.
So let's take a James Marsden, who I think is dangerously close to having a Miles Teller type career.
Way more charismatic.
But but if it was between the two of them, I would pick James Marsden because he just seems like he has more fun.
Yeah.
And
no.
Miles Teller seems like he's just like too stoic to take me. Like Miles Teller would be the kind of guy where you tell him something that's obviously a joke, and he'd be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Huh. He no. I think you're underestimating Mr. Marsden's career. He had a hell of a career.
Yeah, but James Marsden. James Marsden has been in his lane, and I think that's what has given me my feelings of okayness with James Marsden because he stays in his lane.
Ooh, speaking of James Marsden and the X-Men, did you see with those like Elliot great Instagram story? Too many chairs? Was that you? I think that
Oh,
was you.
did you say too many chairs? Oh no, it was Matt.
Oh, it's not
It was
Rob.
Matt.
Not Rob.
Yeah, too many
The
chairs.
What was it?
The Marvel announcement with
Did
all
you
the
see the Marvel announcement?
Yeah, that's
That's too many chairs.
But I'm pretty stoked. They're all too damn old now, but I'm pretty stoked to see the X-Men in the universe if they do it well.
Yeah, but I was talking to Matt and Harley about it, and Harley was like, the most interesting thing about that image is Robert Downey Jr. still.
Yeah, when they were going through the chairs, I was like, nobody cares about any of these
I
characters.
know. It's like, we got fucking Wyatt, Russell, who I love, but whatever. And we got fucking
Nobody cares about those characters. Nobody cares.
Anthony Mackie's fine, and we got fucking Sebastian Shaw. He's fine. Like,
I painfully don't care about anything that the Avengers.
isn't it interesting? It was almost like they fulfilled the initial fantasy of seeing these characters brought to the screen, and they were cast perfectly, and then they finished it. And then it was like, that's it. And now they're like trying so hard to keep it going. But what made it initially so interesting was just seeing those beloved stories on the screen with that amazing cast. And now it's like we're getting all the C stories
Yep.
with
I just
with a less interesting cast.
Keep going after circles in the sky, and people walk through, and then it's a big battle, and then he picks up the hammer and go to hammer, and then he goes, "I'm Iron Man," and then he's not Iron Man anymore.
Why is he the guy? Like, what's the deal? I
Well,
don't
there's
understand.
there's a theory that, because I mean, like, they probably gave him $25 billion, first of all. And
Right.
we're like, here's $25 billion. What would make you excited to come back? And I think they're probably, with Fantastic Four, did we talk about this already? With Fantastic Four, it feels like they're introducing, or they're bringing back this like metaverse thing, this like variant metaverse thing where they're stuck in the 1960s kind of like timeline. It's not their timeline. They got to get home.
I don't care. I don't care.
I know. And then it cuts, and then so the next movie will be this big Avengers thing with with Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. And I think the rumor is that it's a timeline where Tony Stark became evil, and then it became Doom. So it's supposed to be that like
You
there's
think they're
some
gonna try and connect it that much? You don't think he's just an extra casting?
no, because it's Robert Downey Jr. and it's got to be big and it's got to be shocking, and it can't just be he's a villain and that's it.
I think they were like, you know how we get you in this movie? He wears a mask, so you're never gonna have to.
You don't have to be on set.
We're not even gonna make you do freaking voiceovers. We're just gonna, hi dog, let's do this.
We're
Let's
doing
get money."
we're doing 1 day of 2 hours in the makeup chair, and the rest of it we'll have some stand in, and you could just do the VO in a booth one day.
Isn't RDJ's passion selling like cybersecurity or whatever now? Like, isn't he doing something where there's like a ad that he does for a cyber?
Fuck, I don't know, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not interested at all either. The only thing that even gives me a smidgen of like curiosity is the fact that the Russo brothers are part of it. Because they nailed everything else that they were part of prior, and were the best versions of everything that was put on the screen. So there's a little bit of hope.
Well, and they're saying it's going to be X-Men versus Avengers for a lot of it. Like they fight each other. Like
Ooh,
they're
the
not.
X-Men are old.
Yeah,
Didn't
they are.
The Russo brothers also make Community with Dan Harmon. I think they were like some of the original.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then the new the Batman sequel got a change in genre.
Which Batman sequel? The one with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, it got a change in title. It's not called Untitled Batman movie
Stick
sequel.
with it. Stick with it. Stick with it.
And instead of an action adventure genre, they now have sci-fi fantasy as the genre.
Are you trying to give me a boner? Because I already put on a new pair of undies, and now I'm ripping more undies.
Dude, I shit my pants like 3 days ago.
Well, you buried the lead, man.
I know.
We're
I was
over here
kind of
talking
like
about
sneaking
movies.
in.
You had the perfect segue when we first brought up MeUndies.
I know. I blocked it, but yeah, shit myself.
What happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, I just I farted, and I was like, oh.
You trusted the fart.
Just the fart. Yeah, it's the worst.
And I kind of had the thought of like, don't know, this might not.
Yeah.
Oh, but you were like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it.
And Grace was like headed out. Like I walked back into the house, and she was like, "Okay, I'm headed out." And I was like, "Okay."
Are you standing there in your own poop?
Okay, bye. All right.
I love you.
I love you.
For
Bye.
a kiss. No, we already kissed.
I'm all right.
We don't need 2 kisses right now.
I was like, going to Target, can you get me some underwear? She's like, yeah, you have had those MeUndies for a while, right? And I was like, yeah.
I think you're right about those MeUndies. They have holes in them, and it's time for a new pair.
It's old. What if I shit myself? I mean, I'm going to need nude at some point.
In case. I'm just, theoretically.
It was a tiny bit.
Hypothetically.
I think people shit themselves quite a bit. It's just not talked about. I think I wish people would talk about it more. Yeah.
I know you guys. What was the last time you guys pooped yourself?
I mean, within the last 6 months, for sure.
Yeah.
6 months? Really?
Yeah.
Mine's got to be a year.
No more details from Joe. Yeah.
It was at least 6 months ago.
Jesus.
I haven't shit myself since I've lived in Long Beach.
Which has not been a year.
No, since November. But I didn't shit myself in the process of moving either. So I'm going to say it's been at least a year.
Yeah, look, man, rogue farts. It's every once in a while you're just like, I'm good. Whoop! Nope,
Yeah.
not good. That sucks.
Do you ever get the one where you're like, you fart and you're like, oh, fuck, I totally just shit a little bit. And you're like, I shit my pants. And then you go and check and you're clear?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that. That gave me a false sense of confidence. That's how it begins, I think.
I
Like, I'm
know.
invincible.
And I was like, well, then what was that feeling?
Right, what was that?
Was the fart too hot and it simulated the feeling of liquidity?
I think it did, yeah. Did it go back up because it was so quick? It was like a vacuum?
Yeah, could you have sucked it back up, maybe?
Butt suck.
What if Miles Teller was Link?
That would suck really bad, honestly.
Now I want to see him on the SNL 50th. I want to know what you're talking about, Joe. Was it a sketch or was it like a...
I think it was an interview show moment, like one of those sketches. Yeah, he was in a sketch. Unless I'm just totally making crap up in my mind.
Okay, so I've been reading more through this Zelda thing a little bit, and I'm seeing that they're considering like a mocap thing. But then he said he backed off of that in 2024. Bell said making an all mocap Zelda movie probably isn't his choice, since he was coming off the CG heavy Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Ball's aim is to make Legend of Zelda feel grounded and real. So, Joe, do you remember, and Elliot, do you remember when like Lord of the Rings was first announced, when Fellowship of the Ring was first announced? Do you guys remember that? Like when you first heard about a Lord of the Rings movie coming out way back in the day?
At the end of high school? Yeah.
Do you remember caring?
No, I did not care quite yet. Well, I only cared because I love The Hobbit.
Okay, so this had been coming for a minute, and then I think there was some Comic-Con panel or something where they showed off like a little bit of a sizzle reel of like what it would look like before it was like officially announced, or it was officially announced, but rumblings were, this was still back when we didn't have like movie websites and shit being very popular yet. And I remember seeing clips of it or like some footage of them making it. And they showed like that one moment where the hobbits are on Weathertop and the ring wraiths like all pull out their swords and they circle the hobbits and the hobbits are like all huddling closer together. That gave me fucking goosebumps because I was like, holy shit, we've got like a serious fantasy epic coming.
Yeah.
Which hadn't been really done in a minute and wasn't really cared, like people didn't really care about the fantasy genre back then too much. But when they showed those like clips and shit, you were like, this is going to be a serious fucking epic fantasy movie. And so if the Zelda movie ends up being kind of like that, where they're like, we're just going full serious with a little bit of whimsy, because there has to be with Zelda. And if they went that route, I think that'd be a little exciting, maybe.
It's like the only route they could go, I think. That would
Right?
get people excited. But I don't know if nowadays, if they rely so much on the CGI and the mocap, if it can garner that same enchanting feeling.
I don't think they're gonna go I don't think they're gonna go serious, but I bet you they will dip into realms of darkness, and it will be more about like really kick-ass set pieces. Almost like every boss fight you go into a Zelda game, you know, because the
Yeah.
Zelda aren't dark. They aren't serious. They are. You do have a lot. There is a lot of light. There's all those side character stuff. It's just it's too
There's a lot of
goofy.
silliness and whimsy, and like the little fairies are whimsical and funny, and like, you know, there's some townsfolk that are like, oh, I lost my cart, oh, and you're like, yeah, yeah, help me. Ooh. If they kind of like go with that kind of thing as like a side tone, but keep it like mostly serious and grounded, maybe this could work.
Like
But
the
what
if it's like The Witcher?
See, I was thinking The Witcher, and I was also thinking, because that has some good tone, but there was something that like, what was it? Like the Dark Crystal show kind of had like a serious tone, but had like some whimsy and fun.
Too dark. that show
think-
is dark.
Yeah,
Fassbender would be an okay Ganondorf.
Fassbender. Ooh,
Young enough that they can old him up, and then because these guys are reincarnated,
or what about that
you
guy?
gotta have
Who's
like
that guy?
different versions.
Okay, so Fassbender, I could see Fassbender doing like a voice of some kind of CG big Ganondorf villain kind of guy. Or who's that guy that was like he's like Danish or Swedish, and he was like,
Oh.
Nicholson?
yes.
Mads is great.
Maybe I could
Yeah,
see
that's a great
Mads
one.
with like some prosthetic, like a prosthetic nose and shit. Maybe that could work. Man, but that Zelda.
Who's the guy that played?
Oh, go ahead.
Who's the guy that played it?
Oh, Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
One of the Skarsgård could
Yeah,
be.
Bill
he'll be
Skarsgård
Beetle.
could do that. Maybe. Yeah, he could be Beetle. I need to buy your bugs. I want to buy your bugs. What about? I think Link has to be an unknown.
Oh, not gonna happen.
No.
The only way to make it work.
But imagine but
agree.
imagine this, right? I agree, Elliot. I think it's the only way it can happen, because it's going to be scrutiny. It's going to be tons of scrutiny, and you know, and casting can really dampen the like momentum of like a big movie where the casting is so important.
What's really funny is that how do you cast a character that has no personality? Like,
That's what I'm saying. So if you could,
Miles Teller.
so listen. If they
circle
can,
full.
if they can,
I just shit myself.
guys, this episode's brought to you by MeUndies. So if they could, check this out, if they could cast someone, if Link never speaks, if they give no dialogue to Link in this script, in this movie, and they cast an unknown, I think that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get like a Miles Teller, or you get like a, you know, like a Tom Holland, or you get some like, you know, Timothy Chalamet, then you expect the dialogue, you expect the personality, you expect all the things you love about these actors to come through. But Link is he's just so ingrained as a character that he doesn't talk and doesn't really have much of a backstory that we care too much about, and it's really all about Zelda. So Zelda could be like an Anya Taylor-Joy or a fucking Sydney Sweeney or whatever, because whatever, they could do it, but Link needs to be
just running around with Sydney Sweeney's bouncing through the air.
Why not?
God.
Or Sydney Sweeney could be
No.
one of the big giant fairies that come out of the
There you go. That
fairy
makes
fountain.
a lot more sense.
I don't know, man.
If they were to do a trilogy, they could do. I think the only way they could make a not speaking Link work is if it was like a little baby Link, like in the Ocarina of Time with the youngin.
Yeah.
They kind of get away with an unknown kid, and then in the sequel, do a time jump or whatever, and all of a sudden, the sequel he can talk a little bit because he's like an adult, but it's still like a Keaton Batman kind of deal where he only says like little things here and there.
All right, well, let's do a call to action to our audience, our listeners. What do you guys think about the potential casting of Link? What are your dream casting choices for Link? And how do you think they should approach this version of Link? Should it be no dialogue? Because you're right, if it ends up being a trilogy and your hero says nothing for 3 movies, like, not only is that fucking cool, and it would be really awesome if they could pull it off, especially if you have like companions and
Not gonna happen.
other characters that kind of.
I know it's really not going to happen.
But dude, doesn't okay? So all signs point to not going to happen for sure. But doesn't the fact that Miyamoto is a producer give you just a little bit of a hope that some interesting creative choices will be made, and including one where there's no dialogue from the hero? Because fucking Wall-E never fucking talks.
Yeah, that's a great point. And also, would it be to the other side of the coin is would it even translate? Like, is that because when people talk about how Link doesn't talk, they also it's in relation to you projecting yourself onto him because you're playing him. But in a movie, it's a more of a passive experience. So does him not speaking, is that even, or should he just be a character who talks, but there is a kind of blankness to his personality? Because I don't know if that would work either. But I don't know how, if it's a movie, is that going to translate to not to being as we always project onto our movie characters that we watch, regardless of
for sure. And yeah, we just have to trust that they chose the correct personality for your hero that you can relate to, and it's got to be relatable enough.
Yeah.
Of a character, like who was in Fury Road, like what's his name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy never really talked, and then when he did, it was really few lines. So maybe it's something like that where they're like,
all right, I've got my guess of how this is going to go. The first movie is going to be Kid Link or Young Link.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be Goonies. It's going to be him pairing up with like a Zora, one of the mountain Gorons,
yeah,
Weirdo, and Zelda. Right? They're all going to go on an adventure together, and there's going to be this team thing. It's going to be very fellowship.
I love that.
And then
I like it.
But the Guerdo, I'm saying it right? Gerudo that he is friends with is Ganon. Now, go to the second movie. There's some sort of fallout,
like friendship betrayal.
Ganon starts to become Ganon. Maybe there's a moon situation here. Maybe it gets super fantasy, right? And then the third one goes Ocarina of Time, and they start going back in time to solve the Ganon problem or something like that. Or that's the second one as well, and something happens in the timeline.
Dude, I think that's great.
I like that. Yeah.
I think that's great because I think you're right. If you open the whole series with like a fellowship kind of like fun adventure with a serious tone under it, but then it ends with this like fucking shocking, like maybe one of the friends dies, or like there is the falling out with this Ganondorf guy.
Well, I think that
Ganon.
You could also make a like maybe this comes in the third one where there is the ensemble kind of fellowship thing, but the main 3 are, as is in the video game, Zelda, Link, and Ganondorf, right? And they're destined, you find out, to like be in this trifecta thing, and then that's what correlates to the Triforce by the third film, where you expand out and find that they're part of a larger mythic.
And then
structure.
They solved everything in a Smash tournament with all the other Nintendo.
Right. And then live action Chris Pratt Mario comes in.
The movie ends with Chris Pratt live action Mario going, "I'm starting an initiative of fighters."
Ganondorf takes off his face mask, and it reveals he's Robert Downey Jr.
And then Link takes his mask off, and it's Miles Teller.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Anyway.
I think that's the only way that I'm gonna be. If
I shit my pants.
And then we shit our pants.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let us know your thoughts about the Zelda movie, and we love you.
Love you.
I'm not ready to say it yet.
You got the